Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Broadway Limited has recently released their EMD SD45 in Bicentennial, honoring our veterans from Louisville and Indiana and Wisconsin Central, plus some additional schemes. So let's take a look at what you get in the box, starting right now, after a word from our sponsors.
Many of the products you see in this video are available at trainworld.com. Since 1968, this family-owned business has been serving the needs of the modeling community with 2 New York brick-and-mortar store locations in Brooklyn and Long Island, plus their vast array of online items. Shop 24/7 at trainworld.com.
All right, we have one here, Wisconsin Central, as an example to unbox. Lid pops off. There's a Broadway Limited flyer going over their new passenger cars, Chassis Steam Special, Freedom Train. There's a whole bunch of new passenger cars on the horizon. Operator's manual is 27 pages of information. A lot more stuff tucked in here. There is some information about your limited warranty. There is an exploded parts diagram of the SD45, which is, there's over 90 parts listed almost. So nice detailed locomotive there. There's also a flyer about becoming part of the Broadway Limited Conductors Club, where you can pay a yearly fee and get discounted exclusive items. And then a disassembly and maintenance instruction manual as well. And last but not least, a handout. Function list, I should say, in both Pro mode, Pro lighting mode, and your standard mode. So that's specific to the locomotive versus the manual is more of a generalized function list. So out comes the locomotive, just like so. We're going to slide that out. There are 2 areas of bracing along the side here that pop off of the clamshell. Locomotive wrapped in plastic. I'll pop that out and we'll remove all of the handrail protection so we can get a better look. Alright, this type of locomotive has been covered before on my channel, so I'll just go over some basic details. I wanted to show you the 3 schemes. We'll do that in just a moment. We'll pick Louisville and Indiana, because that's my home state, Indiana is anyway, to go over the details of the locomotive. Starting on the front here, you have a cab air conditioner on this version, sand filler hatch and separately applied grab on the nose, classification lights, ditch lights, an MU receptacle above. Here on the deck, stanchions, you have a snowplow with receptacle window and separately applied grabs. The receptacles are tucked behind the snowplow in this case. You have treaded walkways all along the side of the locomotive, and on the side here you have the blower housing, interior detail, jacking pads, truck detail, sight glass, emergency shutoff on the fuel tank, all the compartment detail for access to the prime mover. The horn is right aft of the dynamic brake fans, which there's 2 of. Then you have the 3 radiator fans there on the back, along with reflective striping because this locomotive is still around. So it is still on the rails for those liking to model everything still around. Separately applied grabs on the rear, along with a sand filler hatch up top, rear light, another MU receptacle, and the stuff that we mentioned on the front. As you can see there, get a good look at the treaded walkway from this angle, and your flared radiator section on the back of this locomotive, and more of the same on the other side. Cab window sunshades, I may not have mentioned there. You do have cab figure installed, so on one side there. So there is your 360 degrees look of this locomotive. Let's look at the other 2. Now of the 3, this locomotive I don't believe is in service anymore. It's been about 10-15 years since it's been on the rails, I believe, in terms of operating. But you do have a different configuration. As you can see, no cab air conditioning unit on this. Instead, you have an ice skate antenna. You have the horn placed on the tip of the locomotive on the roof, not the nose. But you do, speaking of the nose, have separately applied grab irons. More of the same detail we talked about, that nice silver snow plow versus the one that kind of merges into the body of the other version. And more of the same detail we've already talked about. You can see all that plumbing for the fuel tank. See the nice truck details, including the actuators there. Got a drop step on the back. That is a drop down. This is kind of the bicentennial scheme for Erie, Lackawanna. Your brake wheel. You even have finely detailed lift rings, as you can see on the roof from this angle. And while we have this one, we'll take a little dip down so you can see the see-through fan detail on both the radiator fans and those two dynamic brake fans. And right behind, or right in front of the dynamic brake fans is your exhaust and your dustbin hatch. Alright, there's a 360 of that one. Last but not least, Operation Lifesaver, Wisconsin Central, number 7525, also still in operation, from what I could find. More of the same detail, slightly different details with the roof. Broadway Limited is really stepping up their game on the diesels. As you can see, the absence of a sunshade here, the absence of the ice skate antenna. Instead, there's a firecracker antenna, and the horn is present, but it is a 3-chime horn versus, oh wait, nope, they're both 3-chime, sorry. Vision's getting a little bad. Look, Listen, and Live logo there on the side. You can see those lift rings really pop out a little better on the roof with that contrasting color there. And there's your treaded walkway look and your flared radiator look. Just a quick 360 of the Wisconsin Central Operation Lifesaver number 7525. Alright, let's see what these weigh. Looks like 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. It's just slightly over a pound with 16.6 ounces, 492 grams. Or 17.4 ounces, I should say. So, nice, robust locomotive. Let's get it into operation. Alright, Broadway Limited locomotives, you can just start moving after you've applied track power. Or you can do extended startup. I think we've covered extended startup fair enough, so we'll just move. See all that lights package there? You got classification lights, ditch lights, number boards, and headlight, along with cab light. The cab light will turn off after you reach 3 speed steps or more, as you can see there. Pretty smooth out the gate. Go into reverse here, you have directional lighting. The number boards stay lit and the classification lights stay lit, but can be individually operated in pro lighting mode. You also have Rolling Thunder, which is the receiver, the subwoofer. You can have a bass trackside experience if you choose to purchase those separately. Because this is a quicker review, we'll just go over a couple sounds. Here's the bell. And the horn. So you hear the prime mover increase too with the steps. People said they want me to cover the other variations more to listen to those horns, so we'll do that next. So this is the same horn, and it's probably should be anyway because it's a 3-chime, but the bell and the horn are the same on this version as well. Keep in mind on Broadway Limited, F22 gives you an alternate horn, plus there's some horns that are programmable. So there's your difference there on the two that are available just through F22. Really sharp looking locomotives though, nice detail. We're going to check one speed step on these locomotives. See what that registers in the AccuTrack 2 speedometer. And it is 2.6 scale miles per hour, which is what we've seen from Broadway Limited. You can always adjust configuration variables to slow them down. It may affect the smoothness of the drive, but that's what it is out of the box. Well, that's going to wrap up our look at the Broadway Limited SD45s. These are available now, brick and mortar hobby shops and online retailers. So overall, they run just as well as the other versions. Nice lighting packages. Can be individually controlled with lighting packages, with pro lighting mode, I should say. You also have capacitance, so if you lift one off the track, it will continue to go for a few seconds. Therefore, if you have dirty track or track that has a wiring disconnect, they should be fine. So overall, a solid locomotive with a smooth drive, good sound. We'll see you next time right here on the channel. I'll leave you with a run by. Take care.